Craig, when you look at the way that the strikeout rate has climbed recently for Ryan Pressly, what do you attribute that to?
Well, a lot of the credit just goes to Ryan. I think, he had a rough outing. We took him out of a role, and this is what the great players do. They don't. That doesn't deter them from getting better. And I really, I think Ryan shows a lot about who he is, about how he's handled this whole thing, and look, everybody's making small adjustments and trying to figure things out, and certainly early in the season, when he wasn't getting swing and miss, you're trying to figure it out, and sometimes it doesn't come overnight, and it's a product of trying some things and getting it right. But the biggest thing you always see about Ryan is he's a competitor, man, and he goes out there and he's gonna figure out a way, and the situation's never too big for him, and I'm really proud of him, happy for him for how he's responded to this.
Talking to him, he said that a couple days after that were really hard, just mentally, and he said the thing that kind of really helped him was just how many teammates and people came up to him with reassuring encouragement. It's like for a veteran guy to have that experience, where it just, I guess, just what's your response to hearing like that was a component of that? A lot of guys rallied around him in that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what teammates do, and that's what teammates are for. And it's a responsibility as a teammate to do that. That makes it feel good to hear that that's how the situation was handled.
Shota through yesterday. Any reports on how that went?
Yeah, everything was good. I mean, it was 2 pretty clean innings. He went down and threw some more pitches in the bullpen. So all good news. He will, go get on a 5 days. He'll have 5 days off and then throw the next start in Arizona. And then we'll go from there.
How many pitches was it?
Our goal was to get him to 40 pitches. I think he probably threw 26 in the game, and then we threw another 15 right away in the bullpen.
Craig, obviously you're not looking for PCA to hit fewer home runs, but you're seeing him put the ball in the air 72% of the time this year. And I guess I wonder whether you think that is a process that you want him to continue to, or a guy with the speed like he's got should have a slightly different process.
Why?
Well, the idea is hitting about 17% of his fly balls are going for home runs. Is that sustainable over time? Do you want more of a line drive approach? And maybe the answer is no, we want him to hit 50 home runs, and that's what he's on his way to do. But I'm just wondering what you
I do want him to hit 50 home runs. Yeah.
Is this the process you think that makes the most sense for him?
I think it makes sense for Pete to go up there and try to hit the ball hard. I mean, the notion that, like that hitters are, I think they work at getting better. The damage is in the air. It's not on the ground.
Right.
So, and then the notion that we can control that as much as analytics would like us to think that hitters can is kind of ridiculous, and not fair to hitters. So I think Pete's putting good swings on baseballs, hitting them hard. They're going in the air. It's a good thing, and let's not overcomplicate that.
If I could ask you another overcomplicated question about Carson Kelly, just what his success this year has come from pulling the ball in the air. And I'm wondering whether you see that as a change in his approach, or what's allowing him to do that.
No, I mean, look, pulling the ball in the air is kind of it's another analytical darling.
Right.
Like, of course it is, right? It's like, wow, thanks. And so it's a good thing. It's a good thing when guys pull the ball in the air. It's also it's a way you're pitched. It's a where the pitch is. I mean, I think there's any question that there's teams have pitched Carson on the outer half of the plate more this last month than they did the first month, and maybe it's mistakes. They might just be mistakes. But I think that's there's some mistakes made in. he did what you have to do with when you get mistakes in. He pulled them in the air, and that's why he had a huge first month.
Shota will be 5 days in Saturday or Sunday.
5 days, Sunday in Arizona. Flights are like $2.99 on Southwest right now.
Did you look that up for him beforehand yet?
You're ready with it. What's the target pitches for him before you're ready to get him back here?
There's going to be 2 more starts.
2 more, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Craig, with Shaw, the difference between before and after he came up is obviously what he's doing, hitting fastballs. Is that just a question of adjusting to major league velocity, or is there something else you're seeing that he's doing?
Yeah, he made some mechanical changes, and then I think in just combination with a little bit of, the major league game and slowing down, and he had a quick ramp up into spring training with an injury early in spring. So just kind of settling into the season, settling into just. Again, I'll say this quote of like, when is you just playing baseball and it's not you're playing in the big leagues? And I think he's just playing baseball right now. And we're seeing a guy who's always had the gift to hit, kind of doing what he does.